Step 6, word work. The goal here is to switch in and out of reading and spelling by using some form of manipulative letter. It's ideal just to use magnetic letters. Those are the easiest. They're all over schools, so you're likely to be able to have one set of magnetic letters for every single student. Or if you don't, you can make a version of something like this by using this little mat that we can download from the UFLI website. It'll also be in the print shop. So just so you know, you can do that. This does take a little while to make. So I'm going to favor these magnetic letters. They're easy. I can get started right away. You're going to want your lesson plan. You're going to want your word work, part of your little cheat sheet there. Because down here, this instructional language is going to show you how it's flipping in and out of spelling. So a fancy word for spelling is encoding, because you're like taking sounds and you're encoding new sounds. Decoding is just fancy for reading. All right. So the way to do this is I am going to get my letter tray. The kids have their own letter trays, and I'm just going to start with instructional language. Use your letters to make the word sit. So the kids are going to say sit. I want them to echo the word, because if they don't echo it, it's not going to go in the brain. Remember, we want to activate all these parts of the brain as much as we can. Now, this might be a little bit backwards because I am using a webcam for this, so you'll just have to bear with me. So we have sit, s, I, t. Okay. Then right away, I'm noticing that I just used encoding. Like we just spelled it. I said, show me the word sit, or use your letters to make the word sit, and then they had to spell it using their magnetic letters. Then I'm going to say, change the S to L. Just like that. So now that I had them change it, now I can flip it back to reading that decoding side. Ready? What's your new word? And then they have to read it. And that new word is lit. Now I'm going to actually push the brain even further. I'm going to flip it back into spelling by just making the next step in the chain. Show me how to change lit to lot. So lit. So I'm pushing up the change. The kids are kind of sounding it out, figuring it out. And then take away the change. I find it helpful to have them push up the change. Then it's very visual. So now they just had to switch into spelling because they had to change it from the word lit to lot. I didn't tell them the sounds. And now I'm going to switch it into reading. What word did you just spell? Then they have to be able to read that word lot. If I do another change the L in lot to N. So they have to change the L to N. I'm switching in and out of sounds. I'm switching in and out of letter names. Really pushing the brain here. What word do we rate? Now they have to go into decoding and read it. What word do we spell? N-O-T would spell not. Okay, and then now I can switch it back into spelling. Show me how to change the word not to nod. And now they have to figure out where the change is. Now this might be kind of confusing for you home viewers there because it might look like a B. I'm not sure how the camera is going to flip it. But anyways, that for us here in the room, that is a D. So now the words I would say, they just had to spell it. I'd had them change the word not to nod. So flipped into that encoding side. Now I'm going to flip it back to reading. What word did we spell? Nod. So it's in and out. It's a great way to run these bases back and forth, in and out, all the different ways. We're pushing the brain, trying to get it to make mistakes so we can give them feedback. That's the goal. And eventually the ultimate goal is so that they can just be automatic with that skill. Okay, have a lot of fun. Remember, don't go out and try to buy a bunch of fancy stuff. Just look for some magnetic letters at your school. Cookie trays at the dollar store are like $1 each. So just make it easy peasy on yourself and have some fun. Oh, remember, last but not least, every kid needs their own set of letters. And you got this.